Come, Nerevar, come. Witness the most unhinged NPCs you can find in the Elder Scrolls series that are not protagonists or antagonists of any main quest. No, most Shivering Isles residents do not qualify, as they are their own particular kind of unhinged. The amount of wood elves on this list is disproportional. No, this proves that they are the most unhinged Enwas in all Elder Scrolls. For this sermon, we will focus on Morrowind, which does not have that many Bosmer Enwas, but you will see my point quite soon. We have to start with Maik the Liar. Maik the Liar is nothing more than a farm tool full of falsehoods. He keeps appearing all over Tamriel in different eras, so an outdated farm tool. How can I say this tactfully? That one will say anything to anyone for little reason more than his own amusement. He's a harmless fool, to be sure. But I would take anything he tells you with a wheelbarrow of salt. Well, you see, Maik claims to be a wanderer, and I do believe he is. However, I find it a little suspicious. Why would he go wandering when so many dangerous creatures live along the roads and paths? Surely the risk outweighs whatever he can possibly be gaining from traveling so much. I don't wish him any ill will, mind you. It just seems inadvisable. You would be far better off following me, I don't lie. Well, not to Dunmer. Then we have Fargoth. Oh dear. He's an odd one. He's a Bosmer, after all. But the heart-aching story of his tragic loss of his precious ring. Sniff! Oh wait, I haven't cried in thousands of years, and I am definitely not going to start crying over a ring, but really I prefer not to get involved in interspecies disputes. That's not an activity of the gods. I mean, I've got enough trouble with the monsters running around these ruins. I'd think this Fargoth and you, though both Enwas of the Deepwood, could have a peaceful arrangement. Gaenor is quite possibly the most insufferable Enwa to ever draw breath. His unbridled self-confidence knows no limits, and he is relentless. I have the misfortune of knowing him personally. He has an inflated sense of his own importance, and seems to fancy himself a philosopher. He would bore the flesh off the bones of a mud crab with his never-ending self-aggrandizement. All I can say is that a little bit of humility would do him some good. Well, he certainly is difficult. I'll give him that. I'm not sure how, but it seems his hubris just makes him stronger. You'd think having a bit of false confidence would make him less challenging to defeat, but apparently not. Your best bet probably is to find whatever secret is making him so strong and neutralize it, if possible. Otherwise, good luck. Also, I do not know why the two unhinged wood elves in Morrowind are called Fargoth and Gaenor. Oh, this is also a reminder. If you are enjoying this sermon, please raise your thumbs, subscribe to my sermons, and write on the parchment down below to honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned. Uncle Sweetshare is an absolute nutter, that he is. What does he keep under that ridiculous hat? That's the real question right there. No, honestly, that fellow really is off his nut. You can taste the moon's sugar when you eat his candy. I don't exactly recommend it, but hey, if you want to try some, go nuts. You might just start flying, or turn into a lizard, or both. Not that I've actually tried it, no, I only read about it. But I've heard that the effects can be rather interesting. He also has a whole poem that he composed littering the Isle of Solstheim. His farm tool assistant, Menashe, indulged himself in too much moon sugar. That is enough moon sugar to render a farm tool inoperable. Can you imagine this, Nerevar? Uncle Sweetshare sure shares large shares of his candy. You bring this unhinged uncle to justice rather quickly, and for some reason you have the option to spare him, but not me. Is this how you honor this sixth house and the tribe unmourned, Nerevar? Well, Crassius Curio is a sleazy, conniving pervert, if you pardon me for being impolite. I can't believe that man is even able to breathe above ground, let alone running for a public office. When it comes to the Argonian maid, words tasteless, vulgar, and farm tool come to mind. I just wish someone would keep the farm tools away from him and bring them to my plantation. If those lizards have any sense, they'd stay far, far away from that author. I'm going to make sure that I stay far, far, far away as well. Thank you very much. I'd much rather not end up in a tome called 6 Shades of Dagoth. Nerevar, you seem to have your common sense intact, and here I was, afraid I was going to have a long, drawn-out talk with you about those awful farm tools being exploited for Urk. No, I can't finish that thought. It's simply too disgusting. They're farm tools, with the minds of farm tools, and the author is exploiting them for his own twisted pleasures, if you can even call them that. Obviously, they belong on a Dunmer farm. Dywayth Fyr is certainly not the worst fellow. I know I'm breaking my rule here, but he technically is not as involved in the main quest as some other characters, so he deserves a mention. Certainly, he's got his vices, the most obvious being his unique taste in women, but even he is far and away better than the likes of Crassius Curio, at least in my opinion. I'd trust my safety with Dywayth in the name of Oblivion than that skeezy author of lusty Argonian maids any day. As for his other work, the Telvanni wizards such as Dywayth were, are, and will be some of the most potent magickers in all of Tamriel, bar none. And hey, if he wants to use his magics to give himself some extra time on this ball of dirt we call Nirn, well, I may not agree with it, and I might think it's a hair creepy, but at least he's not perving after farm tools or writing garbage. Oh, the things I've seen in Morrowind, but none compare to the bizarre spectacle of Therana, a Telvanni counselor residing in a tower of Telbranora. This summer mage, wrinkled and seemingly past her prime, hides a volatile madness beneath a mask of harmlessness. Be warned, Nerevar, for dealing with Therana is like dancing on the edge of a volcano. One wrong step and you'll be burnt ashyams. Despite her age and evident insanity, Therana holds immense power, even surpassing the Archmagister. This power, however, manifests in unpredictable ways. She might reward you with a Daedric cuirass and greaves for simply retrieving a bow, showering you with riches for seemingly trivial tasks. Yet, this generosity is fleeting, her moods changing as quickly as the winds of Vardenfell. Her tower reflects her distorted mind. Decked with rotting quama eggs, a testament to her use of farm tools who mine them, it houses an unsheathed farm tool named Razar. This unsettling arrangement fuels whispers of Therana's cruelty and contributes to the numerous death threats hanging over her head, even within her own house Telvanni. Speaking with Therana is an exercise in futility. Conversations veer off topic, with most answers leading to rambling anecdotes about her childhood. Even her advisors warn of her unpredictable behavior, urging caution and providing escape scrolls in case things turn sour. Finally, last on our Morrowind list is Tarhiel. I think that he's a filthy Enoir, of course. He's quite an interesting fellow, a bit of a loose cannon to be sure. But there's no denying his talent. A touch of madness with his methods, but he sure gets the job done. He paid a heavy price for his hubris, didn't he? Just goes to show, the scrolls of Icarian flight are not for everybody. They really shouldn't be messed with at all, in my opinion. But if they are to be messed with, my advice would definitely not be to try to fly. Also, how many Bosmer does this make? 3 Bosmer. 3 Bosmer Enoirs from a predominantly Dunmer province. That's 3 Bosmer too many. Thank you for listening to this sermon. The next one is going to be the most unhinged Oblivion NPCs. Please put your speculations on the parchment below and subscribe to my sermons and raise your thumbs to honor the 6th house and the tribe unmourned. I would like to thank all of my patrons, including Connor Runda, and the 2 new honorary Sharmats, Tanya Davis and Dane Snyder.